Hello students, welcome back to our video. So in the last video, we completed the import procedure and started with the export procedure. So in that, we saw the first three steps. That first step was getting an order, then second was obtaining export license, third step was collecting goods. So now let's start with the fourth step, that is foreign exchange activity. Foreign exchange activity. Many controls related to foreign exchange have been liberalized after economic reforms of 1991. Liberalized means it has become less strict. The importer makes payment to the exporter. The importer makes payment to the exporter amount of bill either in the exporter currency or in the US dollar. So you all know that exporter exports the goods. So in return, importer pays the money. So importer pays the money in the form of export currency or in the US dollar, because US dollar is considered is one currency. Dollar is one currency which is applicable in the whole world. The Reserve Bank and its appointed banks and institutions keeps control over the foreign exchange. Therefore, the exporter has to make an application to the Reserve Bank of India with a view to convert the foreign exchange received from the importer into the currency of his country. Because exporter will get the foreign exchange received, correct? So exporter also makes an application to the Reserve Bank of India to convert the foreign exchange received from the importer into the currency of his country. The exporter has to provide the complete details in these applications regarding how much foreign exchange he is going to earn, and the exporter has to submit a copy of these applications to the bank or to the institutions through which he makes the transactions. So fourth step is foreign exchange activity. Payment of the money. Got it? Then the fifth step is obtaining the letter of credit. The exporter checks the financial capability of the importer before exporting the goods for the securities of the amount of his bill. So for exporter, always check the financial capability, whether the importer would be able to pay the money or not. So exporter first checks the financial capability of the importer before exporting the goods for the security of the amount of his bill, for which exporter writes a letter to the importer. To demand a letter of credit from his bank. Sometimes the bank of the exporter assigns this task to its own branch working in the foreign countries or get it through other sources. The exporter, the certificate of credit of the importer mentioning that the creditability of the importer is reliable. This is known as the letter of credit. Letter of credit is a document which shows that importer is reliable for the payment of the money, or importer has the full financial capability. That is the proof. So that is known as the letter of credit. So fifth step is obtaining letter of credit from the importer. Then the sixth step is obtaining the shipping order. The exporter has to contact a shipping company if the goods are to be exported through seaway. An application is made to the company which assures about the readiness to reach the goods on a certain date. So, for obtaining shipping order, exporter has to contact the shipping company if the goods are to be exported through the seaway. And an application is also made to the company which assures that the goods will be reached on a destination on a certain date. The details of the goods, such as the quantity, weight, size, the date of the sending the goods, the price, etc. are mentioned in these applications. In short, shipping order means an order which is issued to the captain of the ship by the shipping company to accept the goods. In the case when the issued to the captain of the ship by the shipping company to accept the goods. In the case when the exporter wants to export the goods in a large quantity and wants to book the whole ship. In one case, exporter wants to export in a large quantity and wants to book the whole ship. Then it is called a charter. Charter plane, charter ship. Charter means when the exporter or anything which is booked by one person to send the goods in a large quantity, that is known as charter. The agreement between the shipping company and the exporter to keep the whole ship on the rent is called the charter party agreement. Got it? So, sixth step is obtaining the shipping order. Then the seventh step is payment of the excise duty. Each exporter has to pay the duty on the goods. The exporter has to obtain the certificate from the duty officer if the duty is not to be paid. If duty is not to be paid on certain goods, then the exporter should have the certificate from the duty officer. Then a prescribed form containing a public notifications certifying that the goods is duty free. If the goods are accessible, the exporter has to prepare a shipping bill in which the details like name of the importer, address, price of the goods, quantity, weight, and the name of the port where the goods is to be boarded, the name of the ship and the shipping company, etc. should be described if the exporter has to pay the excise duty. Then this application has to be made in which all this information should be described. The excise officer calculates the duty on the basis of the price of the goods. So excise duty is calculated on the basis of the price of the goods, quantity, etc. The excise officer determines the amount of duty after the checking the shipping bill and inspecting the goods by himself if necessary. When the exporter pays the amount of the excise duty, he gets the permission to carry the goods on the port. So first, exporter has to pay the excise duty only, and then only exporter can carry the goods on the port. Then the eighth step is packing and marketing of the goods. Packing is very important in international trade. Packing is very important in international trade. The goods are to be transported for a long distance, therefore it should be packed in such a way that it does not get damaged due to the transportations or due to the humidity in the atmosphere. So packing is very important in international trade due to the long distance, and so that the damage is not possible in transportation and due to the humidity in the atmosphere. Sometimes shipping companies also consider the size of packing while determining the fare. The packing must be done as per the packing instructions mentioned by the importer in the order. So packing should be done on the basis of the instructions mentioned by the importer in the order. Marking of some important details related to the goods on the packing is also necessary. Details like the name and address of the importer and exporter, the name of the destination port, weight of the goods, etc. are mentioned in the marking. So, eighth step was packing and marking of the goods. Once the packing and marking of the goods is done, then the next step, that is ninth step, is getting insurance of the company. Insurance is very important. So next step, ninth step, is getting insurance of the goods. In order to protect the goods against the possible risk in the sea like cyclone, damaging the goods due to weather, due to the pirates, etc., the goods has to be insured to get the economic return, especially it is to be transported through the seaway. An agreement is made with the insurance company regarding to this. The exporter obtains the cover note after paying the premium determined by the insurance company. The insurance company issues the policy against the cover note. Got it? So insurance of goods is very important. So 9th step is getting the insurance of the goods. Then 10th step is obtaining the carting order. Carting order means permission of boarding goods on the ship. Carting order means permission of boarding. Boarding means keeping the goods in the ship, on the ship. The exporter has to make an application to the port authority from where the goods are to be exported in order to obtain the carting order. In this application, all the details of the shipping bill along with the details of the payment of excise duty are mentioned. When the exporter pays the port expenses like charges of the transfer of goods and the charges of the boarding the goods on the ship, he obtains the carting order. Got it? Then after obtaining the carting order, 11th step is made receipt. So now we are going to stop here. In the next video, we will be continuing with the remaining export procedure steps. So if you have any questions or any doubts, please feel free to comment below the video. Thank you.